out and please support her. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting ready to go into fanboy mode because our next guest, I've been a fan since I was a kid, and he's a amazing actor, and he's been involved in some of the most phenomenal television shows and movies. We're really excited. Actor, writer, and director John Schneider has been on television since the late 70s. First, there was The Dukes of Hazzard. Later came Dr. Quinn, and then Smallville. These days, John's having a great time playing Judge Jim Cryer on Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey's own TV network hit, The Have and the Have-Nots. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce our special guest for tonight. Please give a warm Diablo Radio Network welcome to the phenomenal Mr. John Schneider. Well, how are you, John?
What a delightful introduction that was.
Well, you absolutely deserve that. You absolutely deserve that, man. I just got. I mean, I
thought you had to be dead. I thought you had to die to get words like that spoken over you.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not here with us. Everybody gets fantastic introductions like that here with us. But I gotta say, man, first of all, it's so refreshing to before we really get into the phenomenal show on the Have and the Have-Nots. It's so refreshing to see you play a different character. And it's a little weird because you've always played such a great good guy on television. So it's so refreshing to see you play a different character, more of a JR, bad guy type of character on the Have and Have-Nots. So it's really fun to see that.
I watched the show tonight. I watched the show, Alicia and I watched the show with my mom on Tuesday nights. And Alicia is my lovely partner in life with whom we make movies. We make movies all the time. But every Tuesday night we are up there with Mom Shirley watching the Haves and Have-Nots. And I tell you what, the wind just got knocked out of old Jim Cryer's sails with the information he just got about Wyatt. So that was wow. That was a powerful ending of a show because I was my normal bombastic, nasty, sarcastic self to poor, lovely little Hannah. And then, of course, folks who watched the show tonight know the information that she gave me, and it was quite devastating. So,
well, I DVR'd it, so I definitely can't wait.
Did you see the show tonight? Did you see the show? Well, you've been working, so I won't tell you anything.
I DVR'd it, so I definitely can't. I can't wait to see it.
Well, you already know the information. Great thing about how Tyler Perry writes these shows is that the audience has all the information, and the characters have only their little piece of that information.
Yes, indeed.
So, it's really remarkable. I've been inspired by him.
Well, I gotta say, John. I mean, I gotta say, I love watching you on the Dukes of Hazzard growing up, and you play such a phenomenal, refreshing role on the Have and Have-Nots. But John, I have to say, I absolutely loved you on Smallville. That's one of my top 2 favorite shows of all time. I think that you portrayed probably the best interpretation of Jonathan Kent I've ever seen on television or in movies.
Oh, thank you. It was such an honor to play that role. I am the man who raised Superman. Martha and Jonathan raised a special needs child named Clark Kent who turned out to be Superman. And I just saw a picture yesterday on Facebook day before yesterday of me as Jonathan handing Clark the suit and cape and basically blessing his enterprise as Superman, blessing his moving on from Clark to Superman. What an honor that is. It was great.
And like I said, it was
the show. That show is, I think any episode of Smallville is as good or honestly better than any of the movie incarnates. Certainly the latest ones. I won't go back to Christopher's stuff. Christopher's stuff was amazing. But
absolutely.
It's phenomenal. So I'm very proud to be part part of the Superman legacy.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, it was I was glued watching each and every episode each week, as it was aired all the time. And you're right. I was so bummed when I heard that they didn't choose Tom Welling to play Superman in the Supergirl series. So I was a little bummed about that. But like you said, yeah, it was such a great interpretation of the show, and probably one of the best shows I had seen on TV in 10 seasons. I mean, that says phenomenal things, not just about you guys, but the writers and everything. That's a long time. That's a very long time.
Right. Yeah, it's a long time, especially for a high-concept show like that. I believe Miles and Al have gone on. I think Gotham is their show. Gotham is another good show.
Yeah, very good show.
But Smallville is the shining jewel in the crown that is Superman, as far as I'm concerned. It's
I wholeheartedly
it's the best
agree.
part of it.
Definitely.
Cool.
Now before I really
now
get into
now I'm Jim Cryer.
Yes, now you're John Cryer on the Haven't Had. How did you get involved in that? How did you get involved in with Tyler Perry and Oprah in that phenomenal TV show?
Well, we started. I guess it was 3.5 years ago now. 3.5, maybe 4 years ago. I'm not sure. It seems like 5 minutes. It seems like 10 years. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
Because we do an awful lot of work in a very short amount of time. But I auditioned. I auditioned for it like everybody else, and apparently there was something about my sarcasm and my demeanor that Tyler really liked. Of course, the deck was stacked in some regard, because my understanding is from Tyler himself, he was a big Dukes of Hazzard fan when that show was first running. I mean, who wasn't really at that point?
Oh, yeah.
3 networks, and CBS basically owned Friday nights. But it's a remarkable story, because my understanding is that Tyler was inspired by something he heard Oprah say on her show, and now Tyler has done what he's done. And then he was a young man growing up watching Dukes of Hazzard, and I tell you, every moment I go to work and work with Tyler, I am inspired, and that is where the studio here came from.
Oh wow! Okay.
It was so refreshing to hear someone who know someone who had a similar dream, who went after it and caught it. Beat it into being, if you will, rather than having so many people tell me my dream was too big. And I say, well, maybe your dream is too big, but mine's not too big.
Not at all.
So that's where the studio came from. That's where Alicia and I starting our own distribution arm. We've got this distribution model called Cineflix DOD. So we release our own films starting actually Thursday this week. Our first film is being released on demand. You can go check it out. The movie is called Like Sun. So what I'm recommending to people is go check out likesunthemovie.com, and you can watch the movie anytime you want after 8:00 on Thursday night. 8:00 Central.
Well, I definitely will. I just bookmarked it on my computer, so I will definitely be watching it.
Excellent. I appreciate it.
Definitely.
Good movie, crime drama, lots of pieces to the puzzle. So I hope you all will enjoy it. And it would be a surprise, because it's fairly dark. It would be a surprise for a fresh Dukes of Hazzard fan, but I don't think it's going to be a surprise for a fan of the haves and have-nots to see Jim Cryer in this light.
Absolutely. Well, I know my partner. Elio's definitely got some questions for you. Elio, we're talking with the amazing Mr. John Schneider.
Hey, how's it going, Mr. Schneider?
Hey, Elio, I'm just fine. Thank you so much for the interview. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah. Okay, now this question is like maybe a 3-part question, but I mean you're an actor that time like vividly, and I don't personally know the Dukes of Hazzard. I'm fairly young, but I know of the Dukes of Hazzard because of my father. He actually set me down to watch Dukes of Hazzard, but of course, me being young, I'm like, oh, okay, what is this? But he set me down in front of the TV for a great purpose, and then now I'm speaking with the actor that made that show it. So
that's very
my
cool.
question for you is, just knowing how fast-paced this industry has become, where do you see the future of, TV, being as though that you transgress all the way through time, where do you see TV going, and then how do you fit in that picture?
Well, TV I see going the way radio went, honestly. And I think it kind of already has. The advent of being able to watch whatever you want to watch on your computer has changed the entire broadcasting model of television. When we did Dukes of Hazzard, there were 3 networks and also PBS. You could watch PBS. Now there's really no limit to how many channels there are. And the consumer doesn't really care where they get their content. They just want their content, and they want it now, like in Willy Wonka. You're too young for that too, but Willy Wonka, I want it now. So it's changed how that industry. No, we all know Willy Wonka, right? But it's changed the delivery model of how people get their entertainment. So television, as we know it, as far as network television, I do believe is trying to repair it is akin to rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. I honestly think it's over. It just doesn't know it yet. But by the same token, we have these wonderful avenues of distribution through I call it DOD, digital on demand, not VOD, because it's not video, it's digital. So what we're doing here at my studio is we have opened up a digital on demand streaming video arm of John Schneider Studios called Cineflix DOD. And it's designed specifically for servicing independent filmmakers.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than sit around and see and wonder, gee, what happened, here at the studio, we're taking the bull by the horns, and we are jumping into the future with the smart people and forming our own streaming distribution arm.
And that's great. So how is casting? Has casting advanced further than you just coming in the studio?
So much. Well, I'm a different kind of a guy. I don't like to sit in a waiting room. I didn't like it when people didn't know who I was, and I certainly didn't like it when people did. So I'm not one who reads people and who puts people through the painful experience of auditioning and then callbacks and all that. I don't like to put people through things I don't like myself. So what we do here at the studio, I have many friends. I do cast my friends. I call them up if they're available. They come play, and that's what I say. Hey, come play. I want you to be a cop this time. I want you to be a waitress. I want you to be a killer. Come play. Or I can look on the internet now and look up tough guys. Tough guys 50 to 60. Tough guys 30 to 35. Tough guys 47 and a half years old. I mean, the internet has made it so I can look up anybody, check out their IMDb page, and then give them a call and hire the right man or woman or child for the job.
Wow, so even casting has become on demand.
Casting is on demand, yeah. Casting is on demand. There's so much information readily available right at my fingertips. And it is, a lot of times it's word of mouth. A friend of mine will say, hey, why don't you check out so-and-so, and I'll look them up. And if my friend says they've got the chops to do it and they look right for the part, then I'll call them up and cast them. But that's me.
John, I got to say, just when I thought that I had I had a phenomenal viewpoint about you and your talent and the things that you've done, and then I hear about this, and I hear about your studio, and I hear about what you're creating there, and the fact that you're providing a location where independent filmmakers can make movies on a budget. And I think that's absolutely phenomenal. And I think that, and I think we definitely need something, need an outlet like that, because I'm an up and coming filmmaker myself in the rights, and I'm still working on a few things, and I would hope, sometime in the future I will get an opportunity to work with you in your studio, man. I think that's phenomenal. I think you're doing something great over there.
We even have I appreciate that. We are independent filmmakers ourselves, and I like to think that will be the place to go for independent filmmakers.
Absolutely.
That's why we have the distribution model, but we also have, this is really another cool thing, we have Cineflix has a film festival, and this is the first year. It's 8 weeks long. It's a traveling film festival. We start in Louisiana.
Okay.
That's where I am. I'm a New Yorker at heart, but I live in Louisiana. So we start in Louisiana and we end in Louisiana, but we go through Mississippi and Florida for 8 weeks. Cineflix Fest is our traveling film festival. And this is unheard of. We have negotiated an agreement with the exhibitor, which that means the people that own the movie theaters,
right,
to cut the filmmaker in on part of the ticket. So whatever the gate is, the filmmaker will be getting part of the gate. And nobody's ever done that before. Because honestly, I don't think anyone really has cared that much about the independent filmmaker. But we do, because that's what we are.
Oh, man, you're absolutely right. It's so refreshing, man. It's so wonderful to hear you say that and to hear you touch on that and to give other filmmakers, independent filmmakers, that opportunity. And because there's like I do, there's a lot of talent, unseen talent out there that people haven't seen or heard of. And, to give people an outlet and a voice and to give them opportunity to showcase their talent, I think it opens up so much for entertainment, and it's refreshing for the fans to get to see something different.
Well, you were talking about before we spoke. I was listening to your station here, and you were talking about a young lady who's a YouTube sensation, Ruth B.
Yes.
Right? Now
yes.
that could not have happened if it weren't for where technology is right now, and it sounds to me like this is an independent singer-songwriter who is taking off. And it's where all the really amazing, incredibly talented people come from. They haven't been beaten up by the system. They haven't been tainted by the system. They are people who have to sing or die. They are people who have to make their movies or die. And that's what we are. That's what art is. So that's what Tyler Perry is, which is phenomenal. It's wonderful to work with someone who has worked so hard at what they believe in and been rewarded for that hard work. You don't hear about things like that, and it's remarkably inspiring for me to be working with someone like Tyler, who is living the dream. And working at it, and every day he's the hardest working person I've ever met. So
yes, indeed.
These are the kinds of people that we want to encourage to tell their stories, sing their songs, write their screenplays, take their pictures, make their movies.
Absolutely. I earlier we had a young actress by the name of Desiree Ross, who's on the new TV series Greenleaf on the OWN network, and we were talking with her, and I just made a statement to her, and I told her that the phenomenal things that Tyler and Oprah is doing over there at the OWN network, and I feel like if they keep going on with that, some years from now, I truly do believe that they'll be able to rival NBC, ABC, and Fox.
Oh, they're going to surpass them in less time than that. I guarantee it.
I'm in agreement with you. Absolutely.
Yep, they are two of the most passionate and smartest people I have ever met. And I tell you what, if there's a way to not only catch up but pass by and leave everybody else in the dust, they're going to do it.
They've got the
and,
blueprint.
I'm glad
Definitely.
I'm here to be part of that.
Absolutely,
I mean,
and I'm glad you're there too.
Has nearly 4 million people a week. Nearly 4 million people on OWN watch the Haves and Have-Nots every Tuesday night. If you'd have said that 3 years ago,
incredible.
4 years ago, people would have said you were out of your mind. And
That's
here it
incredible.
is. It just happened less than an hour ago.
I know my mom is probably, my family is probably excited right now listening, because I know my mom, she absolutely loves the show. She loves your character. She loves what you guys are doing on that. That's one of her, ever since they got rid of daytime soap operas, my mom was just, she was upset about that. So when the Have and Have-Nots came along, she was really excited, and that's such a refreshing take, on a fantastic daytime soap, and it's a prime. She feels like she feels like it's a prime time soap for her, but she absolutely loves
absolutely.
it. She loves it. She loves it.
Well, it's great to be part of it, and it's every week is a new shocker. Shock every time. Did you see the show tonight? That's right. You're going to watch the show tonight later.
Oh yeah, I'm watching it.
Oh my God!
As soon as the show's over with, I definitely can't wait to see it. I'm gonna check it out tonight. I can't wait to see it. But I gotta say, John, again, truly an honor. You've done some phenomenal things, and I absolutely love what you're doing with your studio and what you're doing for independent filmmakers. And I definitely can't wait to see Like Sun. I definitely can't wait to view that.
Do I have 60 seconds to explain the difference, to explain another thing?
Absolutely. Go ahead. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I want people to realize that the reason why Amazon Prime and Netflix can charge so little for their product is because they have so much of it. And when you're paying $7.99, or I think it's going up to $9.99 now for Netflix, when you're paying $9.99 a month for unlimited video streaming of whatever movie you want to see, they cross-collateralize every movie that they have in their library. And what that means is when your movie is somebody buys your movie, they're paying pennies for it. So what that means is that the filmmaker, and I'm not saying this is a bad model. This is a great model for the consumer, and I'm also a consumer. I like paying $9.99 for unlimited movies. I like paying $2.99 for a movie, right? When I go to Amazon Prime and I just watched Stir Crazy the other night, Alicia and I watched Stir Crazy, I like that it was only $2.99.
Absolutely.
Independent filmmakers cannot do that. So don't be surprised when you see the new model. When you go to Cineflix, the movies are $10.99. But they're $10.99 so that the filmmaker can actually get an honest cut of their movie. I'm not cross-collateralizing my movie and their movie and your movie and only paying pennies on the dollar. What we are doing is we are paying the independent filmmakers an honest, fair cut of every dollar that the consumer spends. But they are more expensive than Amazon Prime. We cannot compete with the pricing of Amazon Prime. So don't let that turn you away. Instead, let that make you proud that you are actually putting real dollars in the pockets of real filmmakers. Okay? I have to throw that out there.
Definitely. Well, when you really think about it, a lot of consumers spend $11 on a lot of things that are really worthless or that's really nonsense.
A lot saying a stone.
Absolutely. So why not
you go to the movie theater?
Right. So why not spend your $11 on something profitable that'll be helpful to independent filmmakers and give them a cut? I think that's great.
Well, give them a voice.
I think that's great.
They've taken art out of most of public high schools. There's hardly any art. There's hardly any music left in public high schools. So it's got to come out somewhere, and it will only come out with your support. So, folks, support independent filmmaking and give a look at Cineflix. Give a look at the trailer for Like Sun, and if you like the trailer, buy the movie. if you just like me, buy the movie. Buy the movie. Because we want to keep making more movies.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. I like that. Well, John, I got to say, before I say, Elio, any closing comments for John, Mr. Schneider?
Oh, well, I want to congratulate you on the success you had in your career, and then the direction that you're going with your film studio is phenomenal. I think it's genius because you're bound to success. You're bound for something to happen. You know, by you creating that vehicle for people, it's going to open up so many different doors for you. I know you already know this, but you know, I just want to commend you on what you're doing.
My friend.
Because I see it, because that's what I personally want to do. I'm a graphic designer, and my graphic design business is called Optimistic Vision, and my slogan is, I want to make your dreams a vision, and I believe you're doing that with independent film writers. Great. You know, and keep doing what you're doing.
That's great, and I love Optimistic Vision. What a wonderful name. That's fantastic. Says it all right there, doesn't it?
Definitely. Right. Definitely. Yeah. And John, I gotta say, again, man, it was this was truly a true pleasure for me, man. It was an honor to have you on the show with us. Again, I think you're phenomenal, and I think you're doing some great work, and I look forward to working with you in the future, and definitely can't wait to see Like Sun, and I support your studio wholeheartedly, man, and we're definitely supporting that, and telling everybody about it, and making sure they check that out and support everything that you guys are doing. And I like to say this to all of our guests that come on. You know, we always say you come on as a guest and you leave us as a family member. So, you know, you're a family member of this network now. Yeah, definitely. So we're going to keep supporting you and everything that you're doing. I think you're phenomenal, man, and I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight.
It was a pleasure, and both of your sets of parents did a wonderful job, because you are delightfully polite and enthusiastic people, and I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you. We really appreciate that, and stay blessed. And again, we're going to keep we're going to be looking out. I'm going to be watching Have and Have Nots tonight, and definitely I look forward to looking at Like Sun.
Excellent, Like Sun. I think you're really going to enjoy it. And the show tonight is off the charts. So enjoy yourself, folks.
I look forward to it. So you be blessed and enjoy the rest of your night.
I will. I am already talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I appreciate that. Have a blessed night. Thank you.
You got it. Bye.
D-Hour Radio Network, the Tuesday Spot. That was the